It's kind of like honesty, which is weird from GW. Still getting used to it, you know. Okay, Sector Mechanicus is up first. Just like in the faction expansions, we get ourselves a nice little booklet, which just has fluff. There you go. Not much more to it, just a bunch of fluff. The kind of places you may find a Sector Mechanicus. And then we get a nice little 2-page spread, which again is showing us all the kit that we get in here. And I do actually quite like this. I like that GW is now showing us exactly what you get in the kit. Whereas before, you know, quite a while ago, they would show what you could possibly do with this terrain if you buy 10 kits, kind of thing. Now, you get everything here. I really like that. It's kind of like honesty, which is weird from GW. Still getting used to it, you know. You get a small version. This is how you put everything together. Cool. You get a card. Okay. Which is just showing you that that is a servo hatch. And that is an embedded pipe. That's how it looks like on your game board. And here we go. These are the Sector Mechanicus rules. So just like in the main starter rulebook, when you're doing, you can play with these additional rules if you wish. I think those are cool. I like them. Then we have missions. We've got 2 narrative play missions and 2 match play missions. Let's ignore those. Narrative play, ugh. Right. So we've got Stealth Siphon and we've got Burning Battlefield. On the back, we have how the board should be set up. And here we see for Burning Battlefield, we have 4 different objective markers, and that's how they want the board set up. This one is, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of it actually. So there's a cool idea here, which is that there are 2 terrain features similar to how the tactics cards work, but they are constantly in play. That is Flame Underfoot. So at the beginning of each battle round, randomly determine 1 piece of terrain other than impassable terrain. That piece of terrain is dangerous terrain for the battle round, as is any open ground within 1 inch of that terrain. Cool, I'm okay with that. That's good. However, Perilous Riches, Let's read it. Roll a d6 for each objective marker at the start of each battle round. On a roll of a 1, each model within 2 inches suffers a mortal wound. On a roll of a 6, if a player currently controls that objective marker, they gain 1 victory point. Now, don't forget that the ability to reroll in Kill Team is very specific. It's not you can reroll any dice anytime. It's you can reroll certain rolls, so hit, wound, armor saves, and some others that I can't remember right now. So you can't re-roll that. If you've got a guy right next to, if you've got a guy holding an objective, you roll a 1, that's a mortal wound, he's probably dead. And it's in a match play mission. That's weird to me. That's not what I like. I don't know. That seems too random. I don't like the consequences. And then we get Stealth Siphon. I'm going to spoil it for you guys. I've already read the mission. I don't like it. And the reason for that are the victory conditions. So each player scores 1 victory point for each objective marker that their kill team controls at the end of each battle round. Keep track as you play the mission. The player with the most victory points is the winner. If players are tied, blah blah blah. Okay, that sounds fine, right? However, how do you decide where you put the victory? No, not what are they? The objective markers. Well, let's read it here. Then each player takes it in turn, starting with the highest scorer and going clockwise to set up an objective marker. Each objective marker must be at least 4 inches from blah blah blah. So if you're playing a 2-player game, right? 2 players. There's 2 2 people, so you set up 2 objective markers. Now I'm going to assume you're not crazy. So this guy here, probably going to place it behind here, so he's completely obscured, right? Almost like that's going to be very heavily defended from the enemy. And so you basically leave one guy there, doesn't need to play the game, he can be your leader, so you've got your little command point farm going here. And then this guy probably going to do something very similar. Place it maybe up there, so that you can just run to it and then sit behind it. And there's going to be no interaction there. It's going to be very, very difficult to take the other player's objectives. And then, I don't know, that just seems like they didn't really think it through, if I'm honest. I'm not a fan of either of those missions. Boom, moving on. So, there is it this one? No, it is not. So, we get 4 generic tactics, which are, interestingly, specifically for the demolitions and the comms specialists. That's cool, that's fine. But they also have for level 2. So these 2 here, for the level 2 comms and demos, are only ever going to be able to be used in a campaign. Interesting, I'm not against that, but obviously it means that they can't really be played ever in match play. And then they have those. One of them is pretty good. And then we get a bunch of stuff here, which are all to do with the different bits of kit, terrain kit that you get given. I'm not going to read them all. It basically boils down to, if you are standing next to whatever the picture on the back is, you can interact with it in some way, whether it's using it as cover in the smoke screen, that one, or whether it's hitting somebody with it. That's generally what they all boil down to, I've got to be honest. And there you go. That is Sector Mechanicus. We've got a Sector Munitorum. So we get the same thing again. We get our little fluff booklet. Cool. And again we get this. Now, when I bought Sector Munitorum, I've got to be honest, I'd never seen these kits before. I'd seen them when they came out years ago now. They're an old kit. They're an old terrain kit. I'd seen them when they came out and was like, it's a few boxes, who cares? However, looking at how everything lays out here, I actually really like it. I think it's a really good kit for Kill Team, which surprised me. I didn't think I would think that when I bought it, but I bought it because I'm compulsive in that way, not for any real reason. And obviously that's what you get there. So you get 2 sets of that and 1 of them. Cool. And again, you get the rules. What, the rules? No, the instructions for how to build everything. Cool. Again, we get 4 missions, and we get the rules for Sector Munitorum. It's some stuff. You've probably seen this before. Yeah. Again, look how beautiful it looks. Yay. Let's take a look. So, again, 2 match play, 2 narrative. We'll ignore the narrative. What do we get here? Now, when I first saw this, I thought I was going to have the same issue as I did with the Sector Munitorum mission, in that there's no objective markers here. So does that mean we're only going to get 2 and we each place 1, and, you know? And then this one has 5 objective markers, which I'm okay with. Like that. 5's a good number. Right, so this one here, which has the 5 objectives, let's take a look at what happens. As you'd expect, the player with the most victory points wins. However, the only way to get victory points is by picking up one of these supplies, the objective markers, which are actually supplies. If a player controls an objective marker, at the end of a battle, If a player controls an objective marker at the end of a battle round and it has not been identified, they roll a d6 and consult the following table. The objective marker has then been identified. So on the roll of a 1, you remove the objective marker. There's nothing in it. A 2 to a 3, it's a curio. You remove the objective marker and you gain 1 victory point. 4 to a 5, if a player controls this objective marker at the end of the battle, they gain 2 victory points. Vital resource, if a player controls this objective marker at the end of the battle, they gain 3 victory points. Cool. While under the sector Mechanicus, there was that random element on the roll of a 1, it blew up, caused a mortal wound, but on the roll of a 6, it gave you a victory point. Although this is also random, I actually like this. I think this is really fun. Whereas the other one, hated. So that's cool. I like scavenge supplies. Good. Okay, now, what's this? Oh look, it's a straight up kill the enemy. Yeah, victory conditions. If the battle ends because there was only one unbroken kill team on the battlefield, that kill team's player wins. Otherwise, each player scores 1 victory point for each enemy model taken out of action by one of their model's attacks or psychic powers. There you go. It's a straight up kill mission. Whoever wins, wins. However, it does have a little additional rule here. Unexploded munitions. Each time you roll an unmodified hit roll of 1 when making a shooting attack, other than Overwatch, if the target of the attack is within 1 inch of a terrain feature, they suffer 1 mortal wound. I like it. That means that as you're running around, you do have to think of where you are placed. Yes, you want to be behind things so you become obscured, but you don't always want to be right next to them because you will die. Same thing again, we get 4 generic tactics cards. And again, there's 2 of them that are for level 2s, so not playable in a competitive tournament. This time it's heavy and medic. I actually quite like the plentiful ammo, which is for the level 1 heavy here. It's 2 command points though, so it's pretty pricey, but if you are within 1 inch of a terrain feature, you re-roll failed hit rolls till the end of the phase. Pretty nice. And then again, same thing. This is telling you the crates or the terrain features that it's related to. Now, let's see. Let's go back to here very quickly. I'm going to show you something. Now, I was casually looking through the terrain building instructions, as cool people do, and I noticed that here we have what look to be storm bolters placed on top of an armoured container. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Maybe we'll be able to use them in some way, or there will be some sort of auto attack from them if you anger the machine spirits. I don't know. But then I thought, well, hold on. They do seem to be storm bolters. And aren't storm bolters supposed to be like sacred relics of the Adeptus Astartes? But apparently not, because here we have Commandeer Weapon. It's a storm bolter, so you've got 24 inch, rapid fire 2, that's really nice. Strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. And yeah, if you are within 1 inch of the storm bolters, you can use them. Now just from the look of this here, I'd have to crack open the actual terrain set and measure things. But unless you're a particularly tall model, like maybe a Tyranid warrior, I don't think you would be within 1 inch of the storm bolters if you were stood on the ground. I think you have to get up. So, use that vertical height, move, and then use the tactic. Which is only 1 command point, and if they're within 12 inches, goodbye. But still, pretty cool. Then you get a whole bunch of other ones. Again, they're all under a very similar theme of if you are next to any of the terrain features, you can probably do something with it. One that I particularly like is hazardous goods. You know how in computer games, you almost always get a barrel that is red? This is the board game equivalent. Any use this tactic when you choose a model from your kill team to shoot in the shooting phase. 1 command point. If the target is within 1 inch of any Munitorum crates or Munitorum barrels, these guys here, any wound rolls of a 6 up cause a mortal wound in addition to any other damage, because obviously you are hitting the barrels and they are blowing up. And that's the Sector Munitorum kit. I much prefer, actually, the Sector Munitorum stuff than I do Sector Mechanicus, which I did not expect at all when I picked them up. Interesting. However, let's check the boards. The reason most of you are probably here, let's see what the boards look like. I'll do a nice panning, cinematographic thing as we fly over them. I'm sure it'll look beautiful. However, one minor note, these are basically untouched. And you see up here, look at that. It's already frayed. Okay, let's crack them open. Okay. Hold on, we got it. What? Okay. Hold on. Beautiful. This is the generic side that you can then use to link up all of these roads and blocks. They all meet up and match up with the other things that we get, the other boards. Then you flip it over and you get the Sector Munitorum one. Lovely. Somewhere, there you go, you see that's one of the escape hatches. There's another one as well. There. There we go. And here we get the embedded pipes, which again are only relevant if we actually use the tactics cards. That's not... Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Got that. Then that folds that way, and it's backwards, isn't it? Okay. What's just happened? Oh dear. Okay. Here we see the Imperial Aquila, which of course is for anyone that doesn't know, it's a monument, a symbol of the false emperor who is dead. And here we see some skulls, because you have to have skulls. I don't know why, randomly after I've said that, I kind of feel like I should start a Chaos Warband. Don't know why. Weird that. And here we have the actual Sector Munitorum side. This looks kind of low res, like as it's printed. And I'm really questioning why they've gone with cardboard instead of, instead of a nice bit of mouse mat material. This would be more durable. They could have, in theory, printed high res, although they could have on this as well. So I don't know why GW isn't trying to actively compete against all of the mat sellers that are completely dominating the market over GW in that regard. Oh well, let's do some weird flybys. There it is. Look at that blemish. Oh, GW. They're killing me, honestly. God damn it. I'm trying to say nice things about their products. No. And they give me shit. Oh, this is not a job to do one-handed. Okay, everyone. I need 2 hands. Well, those are the 2 environment expansions that are currently out for Kill Team. And that's an unboxing of them, a little more. I'm now going to have a little chat about exactly what I think environment expansions mean and what they should mean for Kill Team. But even though this is a lovely map to look at for the Warhammer Champions card game, as you see there, let's go and watch something a little bit more interesting while you hear my incredibly boring voice slowly talk about random things and get lost and say far too many times. Hopefully I'll edit most of that out, but let's find out. Let's go and watch some random Warcraft trailers. Wait, no, this is Warhammer. Let's go and watch some random Warhammer trailers while I talk.